Here, I thought we would have nothing to talk about regarding AMC until next week's shareholder meeting, but boom, 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 end of the week, we get all of these headlines. Netflix is something maybe we'll talk about in the next video or a live stream. In this video, I want to talk about the news that dropped after the market closed today. The headline on your screen, AMC selling a majority of its holdings of Hycroft Mining. Why did they do this? And how did investors in AMC make out in this trade? Let's talk about that in today's video. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that don't read the fine print and aren't really understanding what is going on here. I'm going to give it my best attempt. So if you got a minute, let's get right into it. Reading directly from the press release so that we have all of the facts straight. Let's take these bullet items one by one and break down exactly what happened here. AMC converted the majority of its Hycroft investment into cash, receiving an amount approximately equal to the original capital invested in the transferred securities. What I want you to hear in plain English is that this was basically a break-even transaction considering what the company had invested to purchase these securities. This was not a massive profit. It was, as AMC says in the first bullet point, approximately equal to the capital invested. You might ask yourself, then why would they do that? Because as I've covered for you guys in several recent videos and tweets on the X platform, AMC has a cash crunch ahead of it in Q1. That is no secret to me, and I know a lot of people are mad at me for saying this, but the company is looking forward and they can see the cash burn coming just like I can, and this is a cash is king play. The company bringing in consideration cash of $24.1 million right now in Q4 ahead of the cash burn in Q1. This is a timely and strategic decision to get cash liquidity on the balance sheet. On that first bullet point, what exactly did they sell? They sold all of their shares of Hycroft, 2.34 million shares, along with warrants for approximately 1.3 million shares and the rights to 12,000 additional future vesting shares. That's, I think, probably the shares that Sean Goodman gets assigned as a member of the board. For net proceeds of $24.1 million, those shares, warrants, and future vesting shares went to Sprott Mining. Eric Sprott continuing to show his support and his decision to invest further into Hycroft by taking these shares and warrants. The second bullet point here, AMC retains both an equity investment and warrants for more than 1 million shares to participate in the ongoing success of Hycroft. So the company did not sell all of its warrants. And if the price of Hycroft continues to go up over time, I think those warrants expire in 2027. If the price of Hycroft continues to go up, the value of the remaining warrants that the company holds will continue to go up in value. And at some point in the future, they could sell those warrants as well for an additional amount. Of course, if the price of Hycroft goes down, the warrant value will drop. So we'll have to see what happens with Hycroft. If AMC ever decided to exercise those warrants for shares, the conversion price on the warrants, the exercise price, is $10.68. In addition to the warrants, the shares that the company retained, it says, were approximately 64,000 shares. The third bullet point says the transaction reallocates capital towards attractive opportunities in AMC's core theatrical exhibition business. Further down in the press release, Adam Aaron gives a little bit of additional color. He says, now is the right time for us to monetize the majority of our original investment and redeploy the capital towards substantial opportunities within the core business. Now, that is one way you could look at it, and perhaps he's correct. I guess we'll find out if my idea about the cash burn is correct or not in Q1. In my opinion, they are monetizing the investment in Hycroft at a essentially break-even point because they are going to need the cash for liquidity needs in Q1. The final bullet point is more for the accounting nerds like me. It says that the transaction is expected to generate an accounting profit of approximately $7.9 million in the fourth quarter. Now, if they said in the first bullet that they are receiving an amount equal to the original capital invested, and they say up at the top in the headline that they sold the shares for $24.1 million, and they're saying down here that it's an accounting profit of $7.9 million, how does that all play together? It was essentially a break even on their original investment. The stock price has been down, so they had a loss booked in Q3, and that book value that they were carrying at the end of Q3 was approximately $7.9 million lower than $24.1 million. So $16.2 million on the books plus $7.9 million accounting profit gives them a total of $24 million, $24.1 million. And that was essentially the same amount that they paid for the securities back in 2022. I think that the thing maybe I have the most disagreement with in the way that it's worded is this paragraph I have highlighted here in the middle of the press release, where CEO Adam Aron says AMC and Eric Sprott set in motion the transformation of Hycroft to unlock the full potential of its gold and silver mineral resources. That is true. But he says, this is an exceptional result for both Hycroft and AMC investors. Look, we're breaking even here. I don't know, after 3 years of holding this stock and warrants, if break even is what I would call an exceptional result for AMC investors. There is potential to make a profit if the price of Hycroft goes up. The company still has 1 million warrants that might be worth a few $1 million down the road. But I think using the phrase exceptional result for AMC investors is probably not the choice of words that I would have used. What I would have said is cash is king, and AMC right now needs the cash. Guys, let me know what questions or comments you have down below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video.